Hello and welcome to The Frame. We start with an update on the latest slate of applications for local projects that could receive money through the Community Preservation Act, as 14 proposals have been made to benefit community housing, outdoor space, or the preservation of historic sites. Each year, CPA projects are funded through property tax surcharges alongside matching money from the state level. Individuals and groups can submit projects for the local Community Preservation Committee to consider. From there, that body makes their list of recommendations to the City Council for final approval or rejection. This year, close to $6.3 million worth of projects are on the table, nearly half of which could be allocated to one plan. $3 million of the requested CPA money in Framingham in 2026 is for a proposal to preserve Eastleigh Farm, the property along Edmonds Road, owned by Doug Steffen. In an open letter, operators of Eastleigh have urged local leaders to save the site amid debt issues. The project, which was outlined by Director of Planning and Community Development for the city, Sarkis Sarkisian, during the CPC's meeting last Thursday, the 12th, could also benefit from other sources of federal and state funding, though those sources reportedly have a requirement for contributions from the local level. Sarkisian proposed having the $3 million allocation for Eastleigh bonded out for 20 years at 10 to 15% of the annual CPA budget. Steffen told the committee that local, state, and federal funding sources would help pay the $7 million mortgage left on the property, while a failure to secure that money would result in 10 acres of land being developed for housing. However, some members of the CPC noted how large the request for the farm's preservation is. For reference, a total of 20 projects in Framingham across 2024 and 25 were approved for $4.7 million in CPA assistance combined.
I would like to not have any development on the property. That was my intention when I bought it 25 years ago. I bought it from a developer to keep it from being developed, and that is and always has been my desire.
The bottom line is we have three categories put aside, and it's pretty much the entire category for open space for 20 years. We're not saying your project is bad. We're just saying, you know, what you're asking for is more money than we have to give for the entire city right now.
Other notable applications for CPA money this year include $600,000 for additional public housing at Carlson Crossing by Kendall Ave and Beaver Street, about $327,000 for renovations at the Walsh-Dunning softball complex, and $300,000 for improvements to Washaken Beach. The committee is set to vote on their final funding recommendations to the City Council on March 23rd. The second annual Black History Month Honors event in Framingham took place on Tuesday, February 17th at the Memorial Building. Held in conjunction with the local 325th Anniversary Committee and the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Office, the event was created to commemorate Black History Month alongside people with ties to Framingham who have contributed to service, commerce, the arts, science and technology, faith leadership, and other aspects of local life. Chief DEI Officer for Framingham, Jesse Edwards, said the 9 honorees have shown commitment to the community, adding that the event allows attendees to not only reflect on past achievements, but to also look forward into the future.
Black history is not distant. It is not confined to textbooks. It is alive in this room. It is alive in your work, in your home, and in your community. It is something worth celebrating, not just tonight, but every single day.
You can find additional information on the top stories we cover each week on our website, www.theframe.news. There, we've got full written articles and episodes of The Frame, feature pieces completed across the city, and a community calendar filled with upcoming local events. Be sure that you're staying in the loop with Framingham News in Focus by subscribing to our email newsletter as well. A local institution is closing its doors for good soon. The Framingham Baking Company has announced that their operations will wrap up by the end of March. Originally founded in 1917 by a trio of Italian immigrants, the family-owned business along Waverly Street has been serving fresh bread, pizza, and other goods for more than a century, establishing itself as a staple of Framingham's food scene across multiple generations. The news was made official on the company's Facebook page this Tuesday, February 17th. The post shows a sign taped to the bakery's door proclaiming the end of an era, along with a message from the current owners, siblings Joan Thomas, Ernie Thomas, and Kathy Rich, thanking customers and employees for quote-unquote many years of memories. Thousands of folks have since reacted to the social media post and shared their well wishes for the Thomas family in the future. Framingham Baking Company's final day of business will be Sunday, March 29th. Officials with the United Way of Tri-County are advising residents that in-person help is now being offered by the Mass211 program. Mass211 provides information and assistance for residents statewide who dial 211 on their phones. Details on government benefits, shelter locations, support for families and seniors, along with other health and human services are offered through the program, which is headquartered in Framingham at the United Way and receives hundreds of thousands of calls each year. Mass211's operations also feature Call to Talk, a mental and emotional health support system that's accredited as a National Suicide Prevention Lifeline Crisis Center. After only being available through electronics, Mass211 services are now being provided in person and free of charge at the Pearl Street Cupboard and Cafe. Trained informational and referral specialists will be on hand there every Monday from 9 a.m. to noon with no appointments necessary. Those hours will be moved to Tuesdays whenever a holiday falls on a Monday. For more information, visit mass211.org. Again, that's mass211.org. A salute to some local high school athletes now, as state tournaments in both basketball and hockey are set to feature Framingham-based teams. Both the boys and girls hockey teams from Framingham High School have qualified for the MIAA's postseason tourney in Division I. Meanwhile, Keefe Tech's boys and girls basketball teams will be competing for the state titles in Division V. The MIAA brackets in those sports have yet to be revealed as of the time of this recording, so we won't know those initial playoff matchups until Saturday, February 21st. In the meantime, we'd like to congratulate those athletes from both Framingham High and Keefe Tech on a great winter season thus far. Sticking with one of those local playoff teams now, as our weekly frame-by-frame segment focuses on the Framingham High School boys hockey team. As of the time of this taping, the Flyers stand at number 12 in the MIAA's Division I power rankings, the best positioning they've had leading into the postseason in years. Now they're preparing to make a run at their first state championship since 1992. We spoke with head coach and Framingham native Adam Aguilar, along with some of the team's players, to learn about the journey so far and what lies before them leading into the D1 hockey tournament.
I think it's just there, we don't even think about it. The chemistry is just there.
I mean, they've just worked together so well since day one, like they'd been on the ice together for 10 years before that, which you don't get. It's not something you find very often. Really making them understand what's got them here so far is good, but what's going to push them come playoff time when everyone's desperate, it's everyone's last game or everyone's playoff push, it's going to take more. So we got to squeeze more out of every person that we have.
As always, more from that frame-by-frame segment can be found on our social media accounts. Follow @FrameNews_ on Instagram and find us on Facebook by simply searching for The Frame. Be sure that you're subscribed to Access Framingham's channel on YouTube as well, and hit the bell icon there to get a notification whenever new videos are published. We encourage you to also follow us on Spotify, where we post full episodes of The Frame for you to either watch or listen to. That will do it for this week's Framingham News in Focus. On behalf of the entire Frame team, thank you for joining us. My name is Brendan Fitzpatrick. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.